Good morning, y'all. It's the Loud Voice on Twitter, and I'm back with another episode of Yard Talk HBCU. Before we get started, go ahead and like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and we're going to go ahead and get into it. Y'all got to bear with me today because what I'm about to share with you is very important. And I got the spirit of my grandma Macy with me today because she was a very courageous woman. On the juke joint and played the piano on Sundays. Okay, and we talking about my great great grandmother. So she's with me today, and I hope y'all are having a good morning so far. Because I ain't gonna lie, I'm very very nervous. Okay, so if y'all remember, yesterday I did a 5Q2 QTNA for Swac Media Day. Now, if you did not watch that episode, which only had 196 views, that's okay. But in order for this to make sense, you really need to go back and watch that particular video first. Okay? Because the Swac at HBCU had Media Day yesterday. And I was hoping to get some of my questions answered. I kind of got some of them answered, kind of didn't. But we're going to go ahead and get into it. If y'all remember, there has been a lot of debate about ESPN and Swac media rights, and it was said, and it's on video, and it's in my Twitter feed, that the Swac had an exclusionary contract with ESPN. So I'm like, okay, let's get into that. So what I did, and that is the actual slide from the show from the other day when I did my top 5 QTNA. Remember about the lawsuit and all of that stuff. Boom. And that's the Form 990 information that I found from the SWAC office. All right, y'all. So, boom. I reached out to ESPN myself. All right. And this is what they told me about the Swac media rights. And I'm going to read this for y'all because I really want y'all to start to think about the things that have been happening. Because the whole point of this is for us to be able to move forward. And as I've always said, I want HBCUs to start getting paid for their content. Okay? We are making everybody rich but us. So it's been told several times, several platforms, several discussions on Twitter that ESPN has an exclusive contract with the SWAC. So I reached out to them. I emailed Miss Amanda Brooks, which is the press release PR person for ESPN. You can fact check me on that. I'm going to read what she said. Hi, Lashanda. That's me. Thanks for reaching out. We don't share contract details regarding any of our rights agreements. On background, we do not have exclusive rights to their content. Talking about the SWAC. For awareness, Allen Media Group announced a partnership with the SWAC back in March for some of their rights. And that is from Amanda Brooks. She works at ESPN in the PR director's office. Well, she's the director of PR, college football, and the SEC network. Because, see, y'all know what? As I said in the other video, this is a very, very important time in HBCU history. Right? And even yesterday, Coach Prime said HBCUs are hot. HBCUs are hot, and people are just coming from everywhere. So I think that it's important for us to understand exactly where we are as a conference, what we own, what we don't own. I think Roland Martin said, pull out all the contracts for your HBCUs and see what you need to do to move forward for your university. All right. And I've been holding this in, y'all, for 2 weeks because I really wanted to see what would be said at, well, not 2 weeks, but since the 15th. Because I needed to know, was I the one that's crazy? But as you can see, as I've always maintained, ESPN does not have exclusive rights to our content. Now, If they have primary rights, I can see that, which is something totally different, which basically means that they get first dibs in any content that they don't show. Then we can take it to a secondary market and get our content shown, which is what I've always advocated for it since the beginning. But everybody was so stuck on, oh, ESPN, we need ESPN, we need ESPN, exposure, exposure, exposure. Exposure is a financial trap for HBCUs. I ain't never did something for free since what? For decades, and been struggling and never decided, oh, well, you know what? Maybe it ain't exposure issues. Maybe it's a financial issue. Maybe, just maybe, these media companies sell advertising during our games and make money, but that money ain't coming back to us because we said all we need is exposure. Okay? And I've been trying to tell y'all this, but all y'all come at me in the comments, oh, somebody said this, somebody said that, and all I told y'all was this: go by what you see, not what somebody said. Always go by what you see, because a pair of lips will say anything. That's what my mama always told me. So there again, right here in the email, on background, we do not have exclusive rights to their content. So what does that mean? If you have some games, now we do have a contract with them. She didn't give me any details, but she said it's not exclusive. Okay. So what that means is, if you have football games that are not shown on the network, basketball games, soccer games, anything, track and field, baseball, softball, all the other sports that we play in the Swac, go connect with a network, and my preference is a Black-owned network, a Black-owned media network, so that you can start participating in this media space and getting paid for your content. And that's all that I've said this entire time. Going back to this, when Grambling entered into that partnership with Urban Edge Network, it was chaotic. And I tried to tell y'all this whole time, hey, you need to tell your leadership to go over there with them people and get you a deal so you can get paid too. And this was what, back in February or March? So here we are, almost August, y'all. So Grambling is way ahead of the game. Way ahead of the game. We're talking about having a super conference, but we can't even get the media part right. That's the missing key. And I really screenshot this and put this up here so that y'all can see the most important part, which is the Byron Allen led effort to funnel ad dollars to Black-owned media. That's what it's all about, y'all. We have been locked out of this entire industry because we have chased exposure and validation. And it's true, we may not want to admit it, but we look over there and see what somebody else is doing, and we want to copy that instead of creating our own market in our own lane. So I want y'all to go find that article. It's on my Twitter page, or you can just Google it. Google Byron Allen and Urban Edge Network, right? And see what they are actually doing so that you can be informed. And especially for my people outside of HBCU landscape that work in media, this is a perfect opportunity for y'all. Okay? And I ain't going to forget all that backlash that y'all gave Grambling for putting their content on the HBCU League Pass Plus app. And I've also always said this too. It's not just about sports. What about the band? If you don't want to do it, if you don't want to do a contract for your sports content, what about your band content? And I ain't finna get into an argument today about which one is more popular. We're not even finna go there today. What I was simply saying to you guys is get into this ad media space. Get into this media space so that you can get a share of these marketing and advertising dollars that are specifically set aside for Black-owned media. That's all I was saying. All right, y'all. I ain't going to be before y'all too long. As always, 4 ways to support HBCUs for free. Follow the pages, turn the notification on, share one post on social media from the official school page per week, use the correct hashtag, and add your favorite HBCU to your bio. Okay, y'all. I hope y'all have a good weekend. And if nothing else, y'all be sweet out here in these HBCU streets.